Welcome back to the Bro Country Podcast. My name is Joey, and as always, I am joined by...
Hey man, it's Chris over here. What's going on tonight, Joey?
Man, not a whole lot. It has been a while since we've done one of these, man.
It has been. Well, take that back. We tried to do one, and it didn't work out very well.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've published an episode. We did record one about a week and a half ago, and I went to edit it, and I sounded like a robot. I was like, you couldn't understand anything I was saying for the most part. So
technology got in the way.
Yeah, so we chalked that one up. So sorry, guys, we've been MIA for a little bit, but it has been a very busy couple of months. So
it has been for us and for country music. Yeah,
so we appreciate you guys bearing with us through the little short break we had there. So that's awesome. But yeah, it's been fun, man. We've got to go to quite a few shows separately and together.
A lot. We have. This last weekend was kind of the. I don't know. I mean, it ended up not being. I ended up not being able to come up for the first show, but the second show, the Brooks and Dunn show, was an all timer for sure.
Oh man, absolutely. Yeah, the wife and I, we went and saw Ashley McBryde and Priscilla Block in Cincinnati on Friday night, and then Saturday, my in-laws and my brother and you and your lady got to come up for Brooks and Dunn, so that was freaking awesome.
It was, man. We had great seats. Crowd was rocking as soon as Travis Tritt hit the stage, and Brooks and Dunn was, man. You forget how many amazing songs they had.
Hit after hit.
Hour and a half, 2 hours of just huge hits.
Dude, our voices were both gone by the end of that.
We looked at each other about 5 minutes into Brooks and Dunn and said, "Our voices are gone," but we just kept singing, man.
Sweating. Oh man, it was rough, but it was totally worth it. The seats weren't that bad either. We were in the pavilion.
Yeah.
Which we were in the back.
It was supposed to storm, but I think the storm must have avoided Riverbend that night. The radar looked awful, and it ended up being a pretty good night for everybody, I think.
Yeah, there was a little rain, but we didn't get it because we were under the pavilion, or the awning, whatever you call that. But there was no lightning or anything, or like thunder like there was supposed to be, so that was awesome. That stayed away.
Absolutely, man.
Man, Brooks and Dunn, they haven't missed a beat, man.
No, Ronnie was sounding like he was 35 years old out there.
The vocals were incredible. There was that one part where he forgot some of the lyrics.
Yeah, he did forget some lyrics, but I mean,
it happens to everybody.
Yeah, they've been resting for 10 years, so it's all right.
They're allowed to mess up every once in a while.
That's right. The crowd carried them through.
Absolutely, man. Other than that, what other shows you've been into lately? Why don't you let everybody know?
Oh man, I've spent the majority of the summer doing what I always do before COVID hit, which is just bounce around to all of my county fairs and just see a bunch of usually 90s, early 2000s acts that you're not going to see anywhere except for at a county fair in the middle of the summertime. So, like literally probably within a week and a half, 2 weeks of each other, I saw Shenandoah, I saw Kentucky Headhunters. I saw probably maybe my favorite kind of under the radar band of the 90s, Blackhawk. They were incredible. And then kind of ended that with Tracy Byrd at one of the bigger county fairs around, and he was incredible. So, I mean, the county fairs you get in for $10. There's no you pretty much can always get as close to the stage as you want or stay as far away from the stage. And Saturday night at a county fair with some good 90s country going, it's hard to beat that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say I've got to go to quite a few shows too, man. We saw Randall King back in July. I've seen Jason Aldean. Took the wife to see Luke Bryan. Ashley, of course, Brooks and Dunn. I think that's it.
Aldean, you said Aldean.
Oh, Cameron Marlowe. I took my mom to the Brad Paisley Cameron Marlowe concert, which we just due to my mom's situation, we could only stay for Cameron Marlowe. So
she loves Cameron, doesn't she?
Oh, dude, she freaking loves Cameron. That was a pretty cool experience because we were like really close to the stage, and for those of you who don't know my mom, she's in a wheelchair, but basically I was holding her up the whole time so she could like dance and get into it or whatever, and Cameron noticed that. And at the end of his set, he threw his hat to her, so that was really cool and really nice. So, pretty cool experience. And she was like over the moon about that because she loves Cameron.
That's awesome. And a year from now, when he's one of the biggest stars in country, she's gonna, that'll be pretty sweet, man.
Yeah, he just got asked to play at the Opry. You see that?
I did not see that.
Yeah, it was in his hometown. I want to say they were doing a show, Brad and him, and Yeah, Brad asked him to come play at the Grand Ole Opry, so I thought that was pretty cool. It was just
That's
like
awesome,
yesterday,
man.
I think, that it got posted on social media or something like that
Oh, that's
within
awesome.
the last couple of days. So good for him. But yeah, so we've been busy going to shows. We've got a couple more coming up next week. I'm going to Eric on Friday, Eric Church, and then going to Eric again on Saturday with you. So that'll be freaking awesome.
That will be, man. This coming weekend, I've got Cody Johnson here, kind of close to my hometown, and I'm gonna make the trek down to Raleigh to see Luke Combs. And it looks like Monday I'm gonna make it to Nashville to see a pretty legendary show at the Grand Ole Opry with Garth and Luke Combs and Luke Bryan, Reba, Trisha. That's gonna be a once in a lifetime experience.
Icons right there. And that's
It is, man.
a charity event, if I do understand, for the flood victims out in Tennessee.
Yeah, it is. It's hosted by Loretta Lynn. She actually lost her ranch. Kind of the guy that ran her ranch died in the floods. So she's
man.
really kind of spearheading a lot of the stuff down there.
That's so tragic, man.
It is, man. It's a crazy storm all the way from New Orleans to New York.
Gosh, man.
Never really seen anything like that before.
No, and rest in peace to those that lost their lives, and
That's right.
it's just crazy times, man, for sure.
It is, man. It is, man.
But yeah, so that's really what we've been up to. I hope
right.
that I'm able to get to that Opry show, but work schedule pending, we'll see how it goes. But a ton of new music has came out over the past couple months. I was gonna say past few weeks, but it's been a couple months since
Crazy,
we've
man.
almost a couple months anyway since we recorded.
So much that I probably don't even have all of it written down here. It's crazy,
Right.
man.
I'm looking at my notes, man, and these are notes that I've just kind of kept up with over the past month and a half or so. And I mean, there's been so much. Like Trace Adkins dropped a new album.
God, how many? It had what 20 songs on
yeah,
it.
25 songs. That just came out the end of August.
He just sticks around forever, man.
Yeah.
Trace Atkins is just around forever, man.
Such a distinct voice too.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
you obviously know who that is when it comes on, but
That's right.
Parker McCollum dropped his new album, Gold Chain Cowboy, a little ways back. We haven't talked about that.
He actually sold out the Ryman tonight. He's at the Ryman
Wow.
right now. Sold it out.
That's
pretty
awesome.
Good. That's pretty good for him.
That's huge, man.
That's a
The
good album,
Jason,
too.
yeah. Oh, dude, I loved it. Absolutely. The name threw me off when I heard it. I was like, Gold Chain Cowboy. I'm like, what? But it fits him, because he's country, wears the gold chain with the white tees and the hats and all that. So it's his style or whatever. But awesome voice, awesome singer, awesome entertainer. Can't wait to see what's next for him.
Yep.
But the Jason Aldean, Carrie Underwood duet came out a few weeks back. That was
It is on
awesome.
fire. Yeah.
The video premiered tonight, actually, I think.
I saw that pop up. I haven't got a chance to watch it yet. I'll watch it when we get done here tonight.
Yeah, by the time this episode's live, I'll have watched it, but I haven't watched it yet. Cody Jinks is dropping a country album and a metal rock album, which is interesting, and I think he's doing both of them independently too.
Is he? I think you're probably a little more into. I like Cody, but I think you've listened to him a little bit more than I have.
Yeah, it's he was always kind of like a rocker guy, but I mean it's interesting that he's doing both projects independently, and don't quote me on this because I might be wrong, but I think they're coming out at the same time or around the same time, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah, he just kind of beats to his own drum, so he's,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
just does his own thing for sure.
yeah, for sure.
Chris Young's new album came out
right.
during our downtime. It was all right.
Oh man, I
It
think
wasn't amazing, but
God, I have loved some of his stuff. I mean, we've talked about it so much, and there have been some of his albums where I have worn them out. And there's some tracks on this that I like that I'll go back to, but I don't know. I haven't really gone back to it at all.
no, that first week it came out, I listened to it a couple times through, and I mean, the duet with Tenpenny at the end of the bar or end of the bar
Yeah,
or whatever.
That's the new
And,
single.
Yeah, that one is pretty good actually, better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
Really good, radio friendly, but it's good.
yeah. I mean, people talk a lot of crap on Mitchell Tenpenny, and he has been able to kind of carve out this career where Nashville still loves him. And
Yeah.
I mean, for Chris to have him on a single, and I mean, I don't know, he's definitely stuck around. That is a good song. I mean, it's a good song though. I mean,
Yeah.
it's real good.
And Mitchell sounds good on it too, so
Yeah.
kudos to them.
Clay Walker had an album, right?
Yeah, Clay Walker dropped an album. All these guys dropping albums this year. Travis Tritt, Clay Walker, Trace Adkins, Alan Jackson.
Yeah, huge record from Alan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Alan's was awesome. Clay's album was pretty good. I think it was 10 songs, if I remember correctly. It was really good.
Yeah.
I kind of like the Chris Young album. I listened to it a couple times through, and it was solid. Nothing really bad to say about it.
Yep. I think probably since we recorded, I think Randall has dropped, 2 songs probably since we recorded?
Yeah, the Baby Do and, gosh, what's the other one? It's
Record High.
Yeah, Record High. I was going to say it's a real honky-tonk song.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, Baby Do and Record High. Yeah, Record High is really good. I don't know how I couldn't remember that off the top of my head. I've listened to that over and over and over. And I will say, Randall King live is freaking awesome, dude.
You loved it.
Oh, it was probably one of the best shows I've been to this year, if not ever. And it was just at a small honky-tonk near Nashville. There couldn't have been more than 500 people there. Like, just couldn't have been. It was like a little honky-tonk bar. And some of you guys listening may know it's Cahoots in Lebanon, Tennessee. And it was just...
I missed it, but...
kick-ass show. I mean, he's going places, man. I mean, I think he just signed with Warner Nashville this year and just moved to Nashville earlier this year, so...
Yeah, he's going for it.
Yeah, he's awesome, man. And my wife, somehow... It was cool because it's legitimate, like a honky-tonk, so they've got like a dance floor and everything. And that's like right in front of the stage. And somehow my wife like snuck up the side and got like 3 rows back. So we were like super close to him the whole time. And come to find out, it wound up being his girlfriend that was like right in front of us the whole time.
That's funny, man.
And we had no idea. I was like, she looks familiar. But because I know I'd seen her on social media and stuff. And after the show, I pulled up his social media and I was like, that was his girlfriend right in front of us the whole time. I'm like, that's crazy.
That's funny.
But yeah, it was fun. So if you guys get the chance to see Randall, I know he does a lot of stuff in Texas. You know, he's a big Texas guy, but if he's in your area, definitely worth the price of admission times 2. So go check him out.
Yeah, I was gonna head to Cahoots probably mid-October for a show for one of my favorite Texas guys, Josh Ward. Mm-hmm. But he got seriously injured and has had to cancel a couple months of his tour, so they had to cancel that show. But he actually had a new single come out in the last couple of weeks called "Lovin' Where It's Going," and it's just a straight Texas honky-tonk jam, man.
Man, I didn't know he was hurt. What happened?
I think he was thrown off a horse.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Some internal bleeding, some pretty bad stuff. But
good
he's
Lord.
Gonna be okay. But
good.
Yeah, you know, those Texas guys, especially the guys that have not moved to Nashville, they don't come over this way very much. So when they do, you gotta catch them in Nashville usually.
Oh yeah, that's kind of how Randall is too. I mean, he does most of his shows in Texas just because that's where he started and has built his huge fan base down there. And
yeah,
I mean, we bought those tickets to see him in Tennessee before Ohio had opened back up, you know, and we were like, man, we're not gonna get any shows this year, and gonna have to travel the country just to see some music. But luckily Ohio opened up and we've got some good shows on our belt this year, thank God.
That's right, man. It's been we'll see how fall has been, but considering everything, we've already had a pretty daggone good year.
Yeah, if things got canceled for the rest of the year, I would be super disappointed not to see Eric Church, but I wouldn't be as sad as 2020.
That's right.
It was a rough year.
It was, man.
But some other new music that's came out, man. Gary Allan dropped an album. I haven't listened to it all the way through. I think I listened to a couple songs. They were pretty good.
I love Gary Allan. He's going to be here in Huntington in a couple weeks, and if I'm free, I'm sure I'll go check that out.
That'll be fun. Billy Currington dropped that like small album with a bunch of like re-released tracks on it. I still haven't figured out what was up with that.
Yeah, me either. It's just kind of. I think he's. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's Billy Currington is. He's got like 6 or 7 amazing songs, and then the rest of the stuff that he's ever put out has been some of the most cringe-worthy stuff I've ever heard. But man, he's got some really good stuff. I mean, Good Directions, People Are Crazy. Pretty Walk a Little Straighter, pretty good at drinking beer. I mean, he had some really good songs, and then he's had some really bad stuff too.
Yeah, it came out in the middle of August. I'm looking at it right now, and it's got 6 songs on it. And Do I Make You Wanna, Pretty Good at Drinking Beer, People Are Crazy are 3 of those 6. So I don't know what that was all about. I honestly have no idea. But anyways, good for him. That's awesome nonetheless. I don't know what the tactic was there, but maybe just to build some streams and some hype behind those old songs. I don't know.
That's right, man.
But anyway, I like Billy. My wife loves him. So Tracy Lawrence released the second installment of his 3-part project, 30th anniversary project.
He's putting out all kinds of stuff this year.
Oh my gosh, dude, for sure. And then Randy Travis has a 35th anniversary project coming out soon. Did you see that?
Yeah, for Storms of Life.
Yeah, Storms of Life. And
he just dropped the track last week from the Vault, and man, when you hear that voice from 35 years ago from Randy Travis on a new song, it's chilling, man. I mean, it's amazing.
I didn't even know that they released it finally.
Yeah, I think there's been two new songs come out.
Oh my gosh.
Fool's Love Affair, and then there was another one that came out last week.
Oh, okay, yeah. I've heard Fool's Love Affair. I definitely have heard that 100 times, but I didn't know they... I knew they were going to release another one, but I didn't know it finally happened. I'll have to check it out.
It's good. I'm trying to think. I'll look it up here and see what it's called, but it's a good one.
Cool, man. Tyler Booth, he released an EP recently that's pretty good. Scotty McCreery's got a new album that is coming out. Per my notes, it may already be out because these notes are like a month old. But
no, it's not out.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. That we talked about this a little bit, but that what's that one? Same Truck, I think is a song, or one of them's really bad, like that we just didn't like at all.
Yeah, I don't know. Scotty's last album was amazing. He had 3 or 4 big songs off of it, and he's got a freaking killer country voice when he wants to sing country music.
Oh, dude, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, here it is. It's I guess the EP came out on August 27th, actually. And is it You Time? That's the one that was really cringy. You Time.
That's the single, yeah.
Yeah, I was not a fan, but I do love his voice. I think he's a great artist, though. So
yeah.
What else has been going on, man? Garth Brooks canceled some shows.
He did, yeah. And I'm actually shocked more people haven't. I mean, so far for the most part, it seems like full steam ahead. I mean, some places are going to require masks, some places are going to require vaccine or proof of negative test. But as of right now, it seems like most of the tours are going to keep going. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know. With Garth, I mean, he's putting on those huge shows for one thing, and it's not really a tour. He kind of just announces one show at a time, so it's easy. It's easier for him to kind of just pull the plug on some of that stuff, And
right.
I'm sure, obviously money's not. That doesn't matter to Garth. So I mean, I don't know. Garth kind of is his own thing. So
yeah, he does what he wants.
He does. Yeah, he does what he wants.
And he'll make people mad, but people will always come crawling back to Garth.
That's right.
He's an icon.
He's gonna be at the Opry on Monday. That's all I care about.
Right. I'd love to see Garth right about now. It's been a few years for me.
It has been. The only other note that I have for new music is that Carly Pearce announced the full-length project for 29 Written in Stone that's coming out later this year, and then dropped Dear Miss Loretta, which is a killer track. So
amazing track.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm really that's when we do our year-end list, she's definitely going to have a song on there, and she'll probably have her EP on there because I've really liked her stuff this year.
Yeah, same, man. I was thinking about that the other day. I'm like, what am I gonna? We're getting to the end of the year. I'm like,
that's right.
And I'm not gonna spoil anything. And if you guys are avid listeners of the podcast, you already probably know who I'm gonna put in my top 3. But top 3 albums anyway. But I will leave it at that, and I won't say any more because I'll spoil our future content. But
that's right.
Cody Johnson.
Yeah, I was gonna say Cody Johnson still got that double album coming out.
Yeah, I know. That's why I gotta wait.
That's right.
I love Cody, and he's been dropping some singles off that double album. It's going to be 18 songs.
2 more this week, right? Treasure and
Son of a Ramblin' Man.
That's right. Yep, that's a Vince Gill cover.
Yeah, and then I don't know if we talked about these on our last episode because I don't think they were out yet. But he also dropped Let's Build a Fire and Driveway too.
Man, he's killer, man.
I don't think we talked about those recently. I think we did talk about Stronger and God Bless the Boy, but the other ones.
Those are awesome songs. But I mean, Till You Can't is I'm telling you now, it's a top 5 song for me for the year. You can mark it down. Dude.
Same.
What a freaking song, man.
I still listen to it over and over.
It gets me pumped. It gets me in my feelings. I mean,
dude, the key change on that song is like chilling.
Oh, it's so good, man. Oh.
For sure.
So good.
Morgan Wallen has been coming out of the woodwork finally and has been making a ton of reappearances on social media and in public. So I'm a huge Morgan fan. I'm glad to see it. It sounds like he's on the up and up and doing better. I mean, it seems like he's in a better space, better headspace and everything. So
That's right. He's
love
doing
to see it.
his big comeback charity show tonight, right?
Tonight, as we record, they're actually performing right now.
That's right.
So good for him. That was for the flood victims in Tennessee as well. So that was an awesome charitable event for him to put on. And then we didn't talk about this, I don't think. But if you remember way back when we were not recording, he showed up in Nashville at the Luke Bryan concert.
He did, and
Also.
the next night with Riley Green, I think.
Yeah. So how would that have been, man, to be at a Luke Bryan concert? Jason Aldean, Morgan Wallen, Tyler Hubbard come out and all do a song together and let Morgan sing a couple tracks.
It's pretty wild, man.
Stuff like that only happens in Nashville.
It's crazy, man.
Speaking of stuff like that happening, when I saw Jason Aldean with my buddy a few weeks ago here in Cincinnati, he was hyping up his duet with Carrie Underwood.
Yeah.
And all night long, he was like, yeah, we've got a big surprise for you guys tonight. We got a big surprise, blah, blah, blah. And it got toward the end of the night, and he's like, I told you guys, I'm just paraphrasing here. He's like, I told you all we had a surprise tonight, and I just dropped a new song with Miss Carrie Underwood, so how would you feel if we played it for y'all for the first time live tonight? And dude, the crowd erupted thinking that Carrie Underwood was in Cincinnati. I was sold on it. And I didn't drink a beer one. I was sold on it. And the next thing you know, there's like a hologram, like full body version of Carrie Underwood on a big screen. And her vocal. Oh, dude, 100%. Which it was still cool to hear it. It's a good song. And Carrie, they had her vocals playing and everything. So it was almost like she was there, but not fully.
It's a freaking smash, though. I mean,
yeah.
It's flying up the charts. Huge hit for both of them.
It is. But yeah, so that was, speaking of things that only happen in Nashville, had it been in Nashville, it might have been the case, but we got hologram crazy. Carrie instead.
the last big Nashville show that I saw was Luke and Morgan did November right before quarantine, and it was the last show of Luke's tour, and Old Crow Medicine Show walked out and sang Wagon Wheel with Luke to close the show, man. It was crazy.
Dude, Luke just did that big show this past weekend in Boone at Appalachia State.
As you know, I had tickets to that, and I sold them so I could come to Brooks and Dunn, and that Brooks and Dunn coming out of retirement and seeing them with you up there in Cincinnati might have been literally the only show that I would have missed Boone for, because that was Luke's homecoming. That was the good old boy going home, and I cannot imagine what that would have been like for him and for just for the crowd and everything.
Oh, dude, I couldn't imagine. I've seen a bunch of videos that have been circulating on social media, and the energy was just absolutely nuts.
I mean, he played a couple oldies that he never plays anymore, which would have been pretty cool to hear.
I know She Ain't Ready. He pulled that out of the vault and played it too. I was like, gosh.
The guy that he played it with, was that a co-writer on that, or I wonder what the story is on Adam Church? I don't know that guy.
I've seen him like on social media and stuff with Luke back in the day.
Yeah.
But I don't know the
full
connection there either. If you guys know, comment on our social media and let us know, because we don't know. But speaking of social media, I have been trying to stay active with social media while we haven't been doing episodes, and TikTok has been crazy for us, dude. We've got like 34,000 followers right now or something like that.
It's crazy, ain't it, man?
It's insane. It's awesome.
That's wild.
So if you guys are here from TikTok, thank you so much. We appreciate your support and following along. That's just been...
TikTok is the number one way to reach people now.
Everybody's blowing up on TikTok. If we're blowing up, everybody's blowing up. It's like, what?
That's right.
It's fun, though. Like, we get some trolls every once in a while, but that happens as the audience grows, I guess. So, but it's funny.
That's right.
But thank you guys so much for that. We appreciate it. And, the one thing about the Luke show, though, that I wanted to talk about was his encore. He sang Carolina by Eric Church. Did you watch that video yet?
I did, man. It's crazy.
And then it was a segue that led into Beer Never Broke My Heart. And he was like buck wild during that. And it's like, I want to let him hear it 5 effing states away. And they started screaming. That song blows the roof off of places, though, man. It's a jam live.
It is. It's the friends in low places of this generation,
dude, for sure. I mean, I know it's like one of the, in my opinion, and I love Luke and I love that song, but it's super overplayed because people that aren't even really country fans or big Luke fans love that song. It's just one of those songs that most everybody listens to and likes.
Yeah.
So when you hear it like on the radio or like on my Spotify list, I'm like, yeah, I've heard this like 4 million times. I might skip it. But live, it just hits a whole different like nerve, man. It's awesome.
That's right.
But yeah, so it's been crazy. I mean, we've been staying busy, and yeah, I mean, my kid's been playing soccer. He kind of hates it. You know, he's only 4, so we're trying to get him into that and going back to concerts and stuff. Yeah, we're hoping so.
That's funny, man.
But I know we've talked about kind of maybe possibly renaming the podcast here, and we had some of our social media followers give us some input, so we're still kind of working out the details on that and trying to decide what we want to go with.
Yeah, we got some good ideas.
Yeah, I think I'll just drop the top 3 options based on our polls that we did. Country Conversations was the first one.
I like that one.
And believe it or not, the second one was Backcountry Bros.
Okay.
The third one was to leave it the same, just Bro Country Pod. And then fourth was the Smoke and Neon podcast.
I like that one too.
Yeah, so I'm and who knows if we will. It was just kind of an idea because, for those that have been listening since the beginning, Bro Country Pod was a pun, 2 bros talking about country music, but I think that sometimes people may get the wrong representation of us as country fans just when they read that. So
yeah, I mean, our goal is to just talk about country music and talk to people that love country music, meet people that love country music. So we don't want to turn anybody off.
Right.
I mean, we're here for everybody to listen and talk and commune for country music. So
absolutely, man. I mean, we've talked about just on this episode Cody Jinks, Luke Combs, Garth Brooks, Loretta Lynn,
King,
Loretta
Lynn.
Yeah, I mean Cody Johnson. We are both very diverse country fans. We're not just bro country fans. So. So yeah, but I don't know. Bro Country Pod just flows, so we'll see. We'll see.
Well, that's right.
But we've got some cool episodes coming up. We're gonna have a returning guest on for our next episode, Mr. Jake Rowe.
That's right, the all-star,
the '90s super fan. We're gonna have him on, and we're gonna be talking about a '90s artist on our next episode. We won't spoil that yet, but so come around for that. And then I think we're gonna do some older album stuff like we've done in the past. And next month will be our 1-year birthday of the podcast. So we'll do like a 1-year recap of some of the stuff we've accomplished and some of the things we've got to do because of the podcast in our first year. So that'll be fun.
Awesome, man. That will be.
1 year, man. It's flying by.
It is, man.
I think this will be our 33rd episode. I think. Yeah,
I think that's right.
33. Yeah. We were cranking them out there for a while, but the world opened back up, so it's been crazy on both our ends.
We'll get back into it now.
For sure, man. But yeah, really, that's all I had, man. I'm just looking forward to going to see Eric Church next weekend and getting back into recording episodes. And again, we appreciate you guys tuning in. Do you have anything else tonight?
Just looking at my notes on all the other stuff that has happened. The only other thing I've got written down here is the Country Music Hall of Fame. Ray Charles and Pete Drake and Eddie Byer and finally the Judds.
Finally.
Yep.
I know we were both hoping for Keith Whitley, but
we were. It would have been cool to see the Judds and Keith Whitley go in together because they, there's not a lot of '80s icon. Country music in the '80s was, I mean, I love '80s country, but it was not the explosion of the '60s and '70s, and then obviously the '90s.
Yeah.
And the Judds were ginormous in the '80s, and they, for whatever reason, they kept them out till now. But they finally got in, and I figure Keith will get in next year or the year after.
Oh, let's hope, man. It's overdue for sure, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Okay, I know we were about to sign off and everything, but let me ask you on impromptu. What you said, the explosion of the '60s and '70s, country was kind of stagnant during the '80s, and the boom of the '90s.
Yep.
What was the best era or generation of country music so far?
For me?
Yeah, for you.
Oh, I mean, nothing will ever beat the '90s.
That's right. That's right. I'm with you.
I mean,
Yeah,
I mean,
I had to.
you know, we love. I mean, thank God for the old. You know, for I mean, I love all the generations of country. I love
Yeah.
'80s country. I mean, you know,
Same,
I love it
same.
all. But you know, we grew up. You know, I grew up in the '90s. You grew up in the '90s.
Yeah.
The music. I mean, just go to see Brooks and Dunn in concert, and
Right.
you will
You'll get it.
understand. I mean that. I mean, you're
And I
talking
like the older
people from
stuff.
5 years old to 100 years old out there rocking. I mean, it
Dude,
is
no
it's
joke.
crazy, man.
Like a little 5-year-old kid, like looked like my son's age, 4 or 5 years old, out in the pit with their parents.
Yeah,
with his
I mean-
parents, I should say, and
Yeah,
older
crazy.
generations as well. It was freaking awesome. But
Yeah.
I've always wondered if it's because we grew up in that era that we think it's the best, or was it just the best? Because you hear,
Well,
like,
I mean, I think it's the best.
yeah, it's definitely. I don't think it's been beat since then.
I mean, it's definitely the most like accessible to people. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, definitely it was definitely the biggest in the '90s, and definitely the big it had more like wide ranging. It affected everybody in the '90s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Country. You know, Garth just opened a door for country music that had never been opened before. You know, and then all of those amazing artists came out of that. And I mean, you know, and it's the reason why people love Luke Combs now is because he reminds them of of '90s country.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
know, and
I mean-
people from like other genres enjoy his music.
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
my buddy, you know, my good buddy who was texting me. He's a like 95% a rap music fan, right? And he
right.
was texting me today. He listened to our best summer beach country songs episode, and I was like, "Man, you're getting into this country music." And he's like, "I blame you for showing me Luke Combs." And so even folks like that never even really listen to country music that much are getting into it just because of Luke, which is pretty freaking cool.
that's right, man.
But yeah, man, Garth, and you know what's crazy about Garth is that back then that he was like what many considered pop country. Garth is
You're
pop
right.
country, and
Oof.
and fast forward to today, and pop country is like sounds like something that you'd hear on like hip hop radio almost.
Yeah,
Like
pop
hip-hop.
pop country back then. Garth still had a steel guitar
Yeah.
and a fiddle. And a fiddle.
Right. Pop country now is like drum pads and friggin' snap tracks and all that. It's just crazy how traditionally country Garth Brooks sounds compared to the pop country of today.
That's right, man.
Nah, we love Garth though.
That's right.
Anyways, yeah, I think that will wrap it up. Sorry, we got carried away on a little tangent there. I had to know your best decade for country music, and I agree with you, the '90s, baby.
Absolutely, man.
But all right, man. Well, it was fun catching up with you here on the show. I know we've hung out a couple times, but it was nice getting to chat, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this kind of banter session. It was nothing too content focused. We just kind of wanted to catch you guys up on what we've been doing and let you know what we're looking forward to do over the next couple months. But
That's right.
yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate that. And as always, until next time, keep it country and take care of each other.